Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Alexis Jayda and welcome. I am so annoyed and I was like contemplating, like, do I even record because I'm in such a bitchy mood where like I don't even like myself right now, where I hate getting this annoyed. So if you don't like that type of video, then I would opt out of this one because your girl is just like I'm annoyed. I don't even have my eyebrows on. I was like, I need to go and talk with my FAMBAM because nah, let me just vent. This is gonna be a little venting. It's not even like, oh well, story time. This is like just venting. So I have a friend, we'll name my friend Bobby. Okay, I've known Bobby for years. Okay, for years. She asked me if I could do makeup on her cousin and I was like, girl, I'm not able to do makeup right now. I've been extremely busy. My kids are in sports. I've said this like quite often to you guys, where I feel like when my kids have gotten older, I thought it was gonna be a little bit easier. No, that is a joke. Whoever says that, like, oh, when I get older it gets easier, they're lying to you. As my kids have gotten older, it's been more work. Cool, whatever, more than, you know, I was like, the more the merrier, let's keep having them, you know, which is, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna be all over the place because I'm so fucking mad. What should we name her? I thought the mic died. I was like, that's a sign. I'ma listen. Bobby was like, oh, my cousin, she really needs to get her makeup done. Everyone has like backed out, and that should have been my side. That should have been my side of like, oh, well, like why or what, you know? They're like, yeah, like she's had two and it hasn't worked out like how she's wanted, yada yada yada. And I'm like, oh dude, like I don't really know. Like, I've been super busy. I have the kids practices literally back to back. I even like do stuff around with the neighborhood kids. I'm busy. It's been a lot. It's not just my schedule, hubby schedule. We have our own little schedule, like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes people confuse that whatever free time you have, it means like you're available. That's not the case. That is not the case. Even if they're like, well, it didn't look like you were doing anything, it don't matter. Maybe I just want to be my own thoughts. Maybe I want to hear my own thoughts, because it's hard sometimes getting like a moment or two to yourself. And like, I'm trying to make sure that like this is good, because I struggle really heavy with mental health, you guys. I honestly thought like, oh, it was just postpartum that like whooped my ass. It was a combination of postpartum whooping my ass, dog walking the f out of me, okay? And then I was like, okay, it's been quite some time now. Like, I thought the postpartum was gonna wear off. Like, it was like 2 years. It was hell, okay? It was literally hell. And it honestly showed me like who was really there, who was not. It was a lot. It was a lot. And I thought like, okay, I'm gonna be better now. You know, it's gonna be good now. And it honestly has just been like really hard. Whenever I get to have like any time to myself, like I try to like really just take it in and make sure that like I'm good, because if I'm not good, I'm grateful for everything I have. Please do not, you know, please don't like misunderstand me and be like, oh, you're ungrateful. No, I'm grateful for everything I have. My mental health is just really like, whew, it's a lot for me sometimes. Bobby was like, please, like, can you please do this favor? And I'm like, dude, like, I don't even know if I will be able to do it. And I'm like, dude, like, I literally can't. Like, that day I have to go and pick up my niece from the airport, and that's an hour drive there and an hour drive back. I'm going to be like crunching time. Like, dude, like I can't. Like, she just keeps telling me like, please. I tell her like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Like, if any plans change, I'll let you know. But it's more of a no. Like, sorry, your cousin, we'll call her Nar. Nar will have to find somebody. She's like, well, can you recommend anybody? So glad. I'm so glad that I did not recommend the ones that like I have on my list. I was like, yeah, like let me check in with them first, because normally I'll be like, oh yeah, here's their, you know, info. But something told me, wait. And it's so funny because I feel like as I've gotten older, my bruja feeling has been even more crazy, or even my kids are like, mom, you really are a witch. My niece, she loves saying it, like, Jade, I think you're a witch. You know, like the vibes I can pick up. Sometimes I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and then it's like, por pendeja, por pendeja. That's why. So I try to like keep my distance, and it's like sometimes like I messaged one of my friends. She's like, oh dude, that's a busy day. I'm gonna have to charge extra if I can. I don't know. Okay, cool. Don't even trip if you can't. I get it. Lay notice. So me and Bobby, we sometimes go out and have coffee, do a little TJ Maxx shopping, but it's very like, oh hey, I'm gonna go out and about, like, oh are you free? Yeah, okay, cool, we'll link up. So I tell her like, okay, I'm gonna be around the neighborhood, da 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 da, do you want to go? Yeah, cool, all right, cool. I'm like, all right. So we go, we talk, and everything's cool, cool vibes. I find a really cute purse, and she tells me we should try this new soup place. She did bring up her cousin Nar, and I was like, oh dude, like I don't even know. And she's like, it's okay, like don't even stress over it because I know how you get. Don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And I was like, oh okay, cool. It takes the pressure off me. Like I hate that, like I'm such a weirdo, and I get like, oh my god, like I have to, and I'm trying to work through that. There's days where I can be like, oh I'm good, I said no, but then there's sometimes I say no and I feel like I have to make it up somehow, take you out to eat, buy you a coffee, over compliment you. I feel like I have to overdo it so that you know that I love you. And I'm sorry I said no. That is not okay. And I'm really working on that. And it's really hard because so many people in my life are used to that sort of like, you know, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So when I stopped and I pulled back from it, it's kind of like, okay. And like, it's hard because everyone's having to relearn things, you know what I mean? So anyways, she took the pressure off me. Cool, awesome, nice, but I still kind of felt like I could feel like the kind of like the tone vibe did kind of change because I felt a little bit pressure, and I'm like, oh well, like I don't know if I'm overthinking it. Like you're overthinking it. Like Jade, it's okay, it's fine, like it's fine. And if that's how it is, then like cool, whatever we have to do. Fast forward, me and her are messaging like, hey, you still gonna be able to hang out? Yes, I already told my babe, so like he knows like, oh, okay, she's gonna be busy, this is the plans that we're doing, etc, etc, etc. I don't even want to do my makeup right now, but I know makeup helps me, like so I could be like a pretty angry bitch, you know what I mean? It's early in the morning, so like we have more time because I'm like, oh, my babies are gonna sleep in. I like to plan accordingly because sometimes when I'm hanging out, I'm like gone for like 4 or 5 hours. I know, it's a long time, 4 or 5 hours, and I want to make sure that like we hit up the stores after we're done eating, or like before, vice versa, whatever. I want to make sure that like, you know, like we catch up. What's up, girl? You know, so you know, that kind of thing. I'm excited. She asks me, how are we dressing? Are we dressing bummy or are we dressing up? And I was like, dude, to be honest, I don't know, whatever you want to do. If you're gonna dress bummy, I'll dress bummy. If you're gonna put on some makeup, I'll put on some makeup. We just gonna go out, whatever. She's like, I'm gonna dress bummy. And I said, okay, cool. Tells me where the spot's at. Messaging her, I'm like, oh, I don't see you. She's like, oh, I'm running a little bit late. Go ahead and just get in. Cool. All right, cool. I go in, sit down. Yep, I'm just waiting for my friend. Yep, cool. I don't mind waiting. I don't care. That's not the part that gets me. So I see someone walk in and they're kind of just like looking around, kind of like laughing. Instantly, la bruja inside me. That's Nar. That's Nar. That's Nar. Okay. Nar. Oh, Nar. I see her, then I see Bobby. Bobby's like all excited, walks over to me. It's so weird when this happens. Now, we can go back and forth and have this be a debate like, well, I shouldn't have to tell you like who I'm bringing, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Anytime I've had to bring my niece along, anytime I've had to bring my babies along, anybody I bring along, I let the person know. Because that's weird. What if you wanted to talk to me about some like cheese man and stuff like that, and you feel like, oh, now we can't talk about that topic, we have to talk about this topic, it's okay, we can keep it PG. I'm always considerate to letting someone know like, oh, I had to bring my niece along, this and that. If you don't do it, I feel like you're trying to play something. And we can go back and forth about that, because honestly, like I'm gonna stand on what I stand on, which I feel like I don't care if they bring somebody, just be considerate and letting me know so that I'm not like, what the, you know what I mean? It's weird. And don't do that last minute thing. I'm already gonna go pick you up, or you're coming to pick me up and you're like, oh yeah, so-and-so's in the car. That's weird. Like I feel like, okay, like I'm not, I don't know. I feel like at my grown age, there has to be communication. Maybe I'll cancel, maybe I won't, because I'm just like, oh, I don't know. Like people you know, people I know, like you don't know, you know, whatever. And like 9 times out of 10, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I got no problem. Cool with it. But I feel like I wouldn't put you in a weird position like that and have someone third wheel in with us, because like I'm hanging out with you. I took the time out to hang out with you. Do you know what I mean? If I already know you're a mom, the baby's always come with you, that's a different story. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Because I feel like I always have to like over explain myself sometimes when explaining stuff like this, because I feel like there has to be somebody who wants to pick it apart and be like, you know, argue with me about it. I'm like, okay, I have my opinion, and that's my opinion. Like, that's okay. On this topic, I feel like it's weird when you want to just throw that on somebody instead of communicating, especially when you do it in this way. Now, I should have got up and been like, bye. Because I know some people don't believe in it and stuff like that, but I'm huge on energy. I'm so huge on energy. I feel like I can just walk into a room and right away I can just feel like, oh, okay. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm telling you guys, it's getting worse as I'm getting older, where I'm just like, it's a blessing and it's a curse. Recently, I had to tell my little baby about this little girl, and I was like, be careful with that one. And unfortunately, yeah, she had to be careful with that one. And it's just like, sorry. Anyways, they walk over, Bobby's excited. I'm like, hi. You know, she's like, hi, I'm Nar. Hi, Nar. Shake her hand. Hi, nice to meet you. So she's sitting down. She's like, you already ordered the drinks? You couldn't wait for us? And I kind of like just like laugh, like, oh, like, my bad. Like, I didn't know how long y'all were gonna take. I don't know why I said, oh, my bad. I don't know. Sometimes I say things and I'm like, why did you say that? Who cares? My son's gonna hang out with his friends. We happened to bump into them at the store, which was so crazy because the whole time I kept thinking, like, how am I gonna meet these kids? Like, when I drop my son off, boom, they're right there in the aisle. My son's like, dang, mom, that's so crazy. You were just talking about it. Introduce, hi. He's like, oh yeah, like, we're gonna be watching UFC. Do you even like UFC? And I said, it's not something I look forward to. In my mind, I'm like, why the f did you say that? Why did you say that? That's so weird. I don't know, vomit of the mouth. I was like, he does though. He does though. I was trying to say, I was just like, so sometimes I just be like, before it even processes up here. You know what I'm saying? So awkward, right? Where my son was like, what are you talking about? That's not something you look forward to. Like, what? Like, why would you say that? I don't know. I don't know. We sit down. Bobby's like, yeah. Nar wanted me to pick her up. She found out I was gonna go out to eat with you. And I'm like, oh, she found out. And she's like, no, you told me, duh. So they're like laughing and I'm like, okay. They get stuck in a conversation. I'm getting on my phone a little bit, kind of like, I can engage in the conversation. And I laugh at a point because I'm just laughing because they're laughing. I don't know what we're laughing about. And Nar goes, why are you laughing? Did you even hear what she said? And I'm like, no, I was just laughing. And she's like, oh, that's funny. And I'm like, okay, awkward. I say that because, yeah, it is awkward. Bobby laughs and she's like, don't read too much into it. All right, cool, whatever. I've never eaten at this place before. Either has Bobby. And I don't know if Nar has. Did not ask Nar if she has. So we ordered something. I like things with sausages in it. And so I'm like, oh, I hope it's good. Like, I hope I pick something good. Because if I like it, then like, this is going to be like my meal for like the whole week. Because I tend to do that. So Nar is like, okay, and if it's not good, just send it back. And I'm like, well, if it's like something that I didn't request and they give me something the wrong order, then yeah, I'm gonna send it back. But if I don't like it, I'm not just gonna send it back just because I don't like it. That's stupid. So I was like, boom, boom, boom. Like the radar was going off. And I was like, okay. And Bobby wants to say like, how is that stupid? Don't be dumb. I'm already like, okay, you're one of them. You are one of those people that like mean girl type shit, like they didn't grow out of it, or they probably were bullied so hard in elementary, junior high school that when they became adult they're like, it's my turn, you know what I mean? And that's cool, that's cute, kumbaya over there. She orders the soup and then she orders like a little appetizer and she's like, oh, I'll get it for the whole table. And I was like, oh yeah, like that's, you know, that's so nice. And she's like, yeah, it's very nice. And I was like, yeah, like, okay, like, and I was like, okay, Jade, you're reading too much into it because like your vibes are already like poof, 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 that like, you know. So I'm trying to like level it out. Me and Bobby start talking. Bobby's asking me like, oh, if you got any like cool PR lately, and I'm like, hell yeah. So I'm like telling her about the cool PR I've been getting and stuff like that. And I just like sharing that with my friends because like I think it's like so freaking cool. Where it's just like, this is the job I have is freaking awesome, and it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you guys. Like honestly, it's so awesome where I'm just like, damn. You guys don't know how many times I reminisce with my husband and I'm like, babe, do you remember? Ew. I hope I'm gonna start my period or something, or maybe because I'm just so flustered. But I like, do you remember the time where like I would always like go in like the clearance section and like, you know, this and that, like I would get from this brand and I'd be like so happy, like it's so cool, like I work with a brand now. Or I'd be like, babe, do you remember like me being in the Harry Potter room and I'm not trying to get emotional on what the hell is going on. And he'd be like, yeah, and I would be like so weird to like even make eye contact. I couldn't even talk. Like I remember one time my friend was like, are you gonna say anything in the video? And I was like, no, because I'm shyness. It was just like so freaking cool, and like it just has flourished into such like a beautiful thing. Like it's just such like a cool feeling. So as we're talking about like the PR and stuff like that, and I'm like telling her like, yeah, like, you know, this, and then she's like, why don't you do the PR video? So we're talking, you know, and then I was like, dude, because I feel like a lot of FAMBAM like don't really like to watch him and stuff like that. Like I don't know if I get into too much of your head. And she's like, girl, you get too much in your head. Like stop getting in your head, like, because that's a lot of why I stopped doing certain videos, because I felt like a lot of FAMBAM didn't like it, and then I would get like a few comments saying like, I don't like these videos anymore, I want story times, just story times. And I'd be like, oh my god, like that's what I should just focus on. And Bobby was like, no dude, like all of it. Her and my husband are like, post the makeup and the story times. Like it doesn't matter if you get like that 1 or 3 comments saying that they don't want to watch this. And she was just like, who cares, like put it out anyways. So I was like telling her and stuff about the PR, because some FAMBAM are like, I don't want to see you opening packages when I can't get, you know, this, but they're just sending it to you. And it's just like comments like that would kind of get to me, you know. Bobby and a few other friends were like, you need to stop. Like you need to stop. It's not like if you don't work hard for this, like you need to stop. Nar chimes in and she says, I hate watching those videos. Bobby looks at her, she's like, okay, well, no one asked you. And me and her keep talking. So she's like, I hate watching people post that. There's a TikToker, she's always posting all the stuff she gets and blah blah blah. I was like, oh yeah, I like watching her content. I always see her doing giveaways and stuff like that. Like that's cool. And she was like, no, it's too much. Like honestly, like who needs that much makeup? It's going to expire. And so I'm like, yeah, but that's why there's giveaways. And she's like, I just don't understand why people need like a whole beauty room just dedicated to makeup. And I was like, well, it's because it's their job. And sometimes things are like keepsakes and stuff. And she's like, yeah, it's just stupid to me. Like getting like all upset. And I feel like, okay, I was getting a little bit maybe too bothered, because I'm like, okay, like I know you talk about me. I know you're talking about me. Bobby was telling her like, okay, but you're a nail tech and you have a whole room dedicated to nails and you don't book no clients. So Bobby was clocking her, you know? And so she starts laughing. She's like, shut up, bitch, shut up. Pushes her and stuff like that. And she was like, not too much of my girl now. So she asks me like, oh, are you gonna do the PR? And I was like, yeah, like I am. I just like, I don't know, I like heck overthink it. And then I'm like, you're trying to see my babe's free where he can do it with me, because my husband's really getting into fitness. And so she's like, just do it, just do it. Stop overthinking it. Even if you don't got your makeup on, like just do it. Nar asks Bobby if they were still on for that weekend. They were gonna go somewhere. They have their little conversation. We just had ours. Okay, we're gonna take turns sharing Bobby. Whoever gets to hold Bobby's finger is the one who gets to talk. Just kidding. She's asking her if she's going to still be able to go out. I'm not on my phone. Like I'm just like, you know, like listening, whatever. Nar says, oh, sorry, we already invited like X amount of people. I was like, oh, it's okay. Like I don't go out like that. Why? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like it's just, I'm kind of like out of that phase. Like I don't know. Like sometimes like I'll go, you know, but I don't like go out like that. Like I don't know how to answer that, you know. Like I'm just like, I don't know, like I just said it, like I just don't like. And then I don't know. She's like, but why? It's not really my scene. My husband too, he doesn't really like. Oh, so that's why. A little bit of both. It's not something that I'm like, oh my god, you know, whatever. Back then, yeah, but not so much now. Recently went to a country club for one of my friend's birthdays. It was really fun. It was really good vibes. It was cute. Got to visit, and then I was like, okay, bye. We don't drink, so it's kind of like, I feel like I don't want to ruin anyone's fun who are like all laughing, having a good time. And then I'm not saying you can't have a good time if you're not drinking, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that like everyone is on that same wave. And I don't want anyone to feel like, oh my god, she's judging me, or like, oh my god, she's not laughing as hard. It's just a different, you know, like when someone has like the tickles and giggles and like the other person's not giggling, like I don't want to make anyone feel any type of way, you know what I mean? Like you have your fun. And I came and I saw you and I let you, and I'll see you later. So she's like, oh, so that's why I would never let a man tell me what I could and could not do. And I was like, whoa, 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 no one even said all that. Bobby starts laughing. She's like, what? Like, no. Like she said, she's been there, did that. It's not something she's trying to do. I guess. She's like, he's Mexican, isn't he? Now, it doesn't matter what he is. So I was like, what? Like, so I made a face like, what? Because like now she's annoying me. Like now I feel like, okay, like you're little like you're just being annoying. Like you're just an annoying She's like, no, like, I'm just asking because, like, you know, they like their women at home. They don't like their women out. They want to be with, like, you know, how their mom was. And I was like, funny thing is, he don't even talk to his mom. Just kidding. But, like, no, what? We changed the conversation. Now we're just talking about just, like, whatever, you know, like, oh, have you been here? Have you tried this? Have you done that? The food comes out. Finally, cool. And I was like, oh, dang, like, this looks really good. Try it. It has sausages. It's good. It's a little bit spicy. So I kind of, like, cough a little bit. Nar is like, I thought you people like spicy stuff. And I was like, you people? Obviously, I don't know if she meant it like that, but, like, I'm just trying to be funny. She's like, oh, whoa, chill. And Bobby, like, looks at her and she's like pulling her closer and, like, kind of like they're like talking, like she's kind of like letting her know, like, dude, like, you know, that kind of thing, whatever. And so I'm like, all right. Now I just feel like my cheeks are like super red because I went bare naked. Oh, I didn't even tell you. Bobby came with her lashes done, her eyebrows done. She swore she wasn't wearing foundation. She's wearing a little BB cream, which is cool. Love that for you. Okay, whatever. But I came looking crusty, dusty, musty. The appetizer was late. So she calls over the waiter and she goes, that's gross. That's gross. So I say that. That's gross. That's gross. And she's like, what? How are they supposed to hear me? I was like, you're supposed to wait till they come around or make eye contact. That's how. Or if you really are impatient, you can call them. Sometimes that works. So now Bobby's looking at me, gives me a little kick under the table because she wants me to calm down. I don't know why. I feel like I get in trouble when I let Jayda come out because, like, people really got you up when they think, like, oh, you won't. The old me will come out real quick. Okay? Like, I could be laid back. Okay? I could be chill. I'm laid back as hell. But I can lean forward real quick. With the quickness, bitch. Anyways, the waiter comes close, make eye contact with him. He's like, oh, you know, comes over. She's like, you guys forgot my appetizer? And I'm just like looking at her, looking at Bobby. And Bobby's just like, sorry, like, I know you guys are busy. They weren't busy, but that doesn't even matter. Oh, I'm so sorry. We will bring that right out. I apologize. Is there anything you guys want? Like a dessert? She's like, what do you guys got? So he lists it off. She's like, okay, cool. He leaves. Now I'm just on my phone because I'm like, I'm just going to just like ignore it. I'm going to tell the babe like, hey, after I'm done here, instead of hanging with Bobby and Nar can hang out. Me and you, let's go out. Let's go do something. Okay, cool. Whatever you want to do, babe, let me know. Bobby asks me a question. I'm like, huh? Oh, what? Like, are you going to have to go? Cool. I don't know if she threw me the bone or like what it was, but I was like, yeah, something came up. Babe's gonna need me, but after we're done here, of course, like, I'm not gonna leave right now. She's like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. She knew. She fucking knew. She knew. So we're still eating. Waiter comes, puts the appetizer, puts the dessert, brings one dessert. Cool. I wasn't expecting 3 desserts because to me, I'm just like, that's too much. That's a little greedy. I could see if we order more than 1 appetizer, maybe, but we didn't. But Nar is like, I'm not sharing this to me and Bobby. And I'm like, that's fine. Bobby too. Ain't nobody asked you to share because nobody didn't. Now you just look like an asshole. Be a little asshole over there. All right. So she's like eating the appetizer. She like pulls it towards herself. Bobby reaches over and she's like, excuse you. She's like, you said that you're gonna share a table. I'm like, I don't wanna. It's fine. Nar is like, why? Because I'm good. But why are you good? Because I just said that. But why'd you say that? Because I did. But why did you? Because I can. But why can you? Freedom of speech. And she just like looks at me. Okay. There is no way in hell that we are in the same age group. How does it sound like I'm fighting with a teenager? Please let me know. So that's why I'm like, how old are you? Just because like, how old are you? Because like, I want to know if like you are on teenage, you still in your 20s, because y'all, it's so crazy. I'm not in my 20s no more. Tell me why on my 30th, me and my sister-in-law were talking and she was like, oh my god, you can wear like a black dress. And I was like, why would I wear a black dress? And she was like, to celebrate your 30s. And I was like, thinking in my head, like, why do people wear black for their 30s? Like, I just don't get it. Duh, pinche pendeja. It's because you're saying goodbye to your 20s. It did not click. It did not click until like later on. I was like, oh my god. I bought 2 dresses, hated the way they looked at me, hated it, y'all. Speaking of dresses, I recently got some dresses from TJ Maxx. No, some people can pull off skirts, dresses, and they look fantastic. I don't know if it's because like I really have like, you know, male energy. Like I'm very like, you know, like even my brothers are like, that's my big sister bro, you know, it's my big bro. And literally I don't feel like, oh, cutesy girly. I feel very tomboyish still. Like I'll have my moments where like I get a little cute, but I don't know if she gets scared or something. She don't come out very often. When she do, she get pregnant. Just kidding. But anyways, so she's like 91 baby, and I was like, oh, okay. Why? I was like, oh, I'm just wondering, like, just wondering. Bobby is laughing because Bobby like knows what I'm getting at, you know. Anyways, the waiter comes back, fills up our drinks, and she asks him like, how come it was only one dessert? Like, oh, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, like, what are they going to have? And he's like, well, that's why I brought extra forks. And she's like, this is too small, I'm not sharing. And he's like, yeah, it's enough to share. She's like, I'm not sharing. And I literally had to be like, we're good, thank you, to kind of like let him, you know, like leave the table, like, dude, you're good, don't even worry about her, like, you're good, you know. Because it's like, I don't understand why people like being uncomfortable like that, doing that to people. Like, I hate that. Like, it makes me cringe so freaking hard when people like making others feel uncomfortable or guilt them into doing something that they don't want to do. Like, what's wrong with you? Who raised you, bitch? Like, okay, gosh, when you want a minute to like hurry up and come, it literally feels like it's like ticking down, just like tick, tick, tick. But when you're trying to like make it last, it's just like we're like having good conversation. That's what was just kind of throwing me off, is that it was just like so hot and cold. And I was just trying to understand, like, if she just had one of those personalities of like, oh, that's just how she is. That's exactly what Bobby says, because Bobby has to go to the restroom and she asks us if anyone else has to go. Me and Nar are like, oh no. She's like, okay, I'll be back. Play nice. She leaves. She texts me like, sorry dude, she's normally really chill, she's probably just nervous, but that's just how she is. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know what else to say, Bobby. I don't know what to say. We want to be like, oh no, oh Nar. Just kidding. She brings up needing her makeup done. She asks me if I take clients, and I'm like, oh no, been really busy. Oh, but like, you can't just like squeeze me in. And I'm like, oh no, sorry, I'm really busy, I swear, as my kids are getting older. Same thing I told you guys, same thing. Like, oh, as my kids are getting older, you know. She's like, what? Like, it should be like nothing. How fast can you do makeup? I'm like, well, it takes time, so I like to block out like an hour or two. She's like, what is that? That's like nothing. Like, you could just do that super quick. I was gonna go with this one girl, but I didn't really like her attitude. So she's like telling me that like the two people that she wanted, it just didn't work out due to certain reasons. And I'm just kind of like, no, like, sorry dude, like, how hard would it be? And you get that makeup sent to you, so you probably got like a whole Sephora in there. I was like, yep, like you said, just expiring away. And she like laughs and she's like, oh my god, like, I hope you didn't get your feelings hurt about that. Like, I'm just joking, like, not everyone can take a joke, bitch. She called me a bitch, and then she's like, I hope you're not weird about people calling you a bitch too. I was like, I don't mind when friends say it. And so we kind of just like look at each other awkwardly. Like, that's just so weird. Like, I don't know. And I wouldn't mind if she was chill vibes and she called me a bitch like in a laughing way, but she was not chill vibes. Her vibe was just super strong. I was just trying not to like converse that much because it just felt like any topic we would talk about, it just, it was just, I don't know how to explain the feeling. It felt like I was talking to my grandma, where it's just like, you didn't know if like she was trying to be offensive on purpose or if it's just like, that's just how you talk. And it's like, why do you talk like that? That's what it gives me, because my grandma talks like that. There has to be like a formula of something where like, y'all think that's okay. It's not. So she pulls out her phone and she shows me her Instagram and her nail page, and I was like, oh dang, like, okay girl, you get down. Because like, I'm not gonna be mean in the conversation either, where I'm just gonna like not be like, I'm gonna be like super dry and like monotone, you know what I mean? So she shows me her stuff and I was like, oh dang, okay. I asked her if she knows my friend who does nails too, and she's like, no, don't know her, I know more. And she's like showing me other people. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So she's showing me her page, and then she's like, here, follow me. Turns her phone around so I can copy it. I'm like, oh, okay. I go and I follow her, and she's like, and don't be unfollowing me because I pay extra. Yes, I pay extra. Like, super offended, because I'm pretty sure someone probably told her like, why you do all that? Who got time for that? Like, don't do that. Like, someone probably told her all that, so she's probably like, and I was like, okay. And I just started laughing. Follow her. So then I say, okay, here, follow me. And then she's like, why? Y'all, that was so awkward. I was like, ew, I'll go and follow you real quick. Like, I'm still trying to keep like the vibes, like, ha 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 ha. She's like, just kidding. And then she pulls out her phone. She's like, oh, how do you spell it? I tell her how to spell it. And then once she sees my Instagram, her whole like vibe changed, where I've had this happen often, especially when I would go to events where I don't fit, I feel like, the beauty standard of the events. Because like I said, I don't like really just girly. I feel like now if I would go to the beauty events, like I would put myself together more better, you know what I mean? But like one of the beauty events, I wore a flannel, and it's like, Jade, why are you wearing a flannel? Why aren't you wearing a dress, love? But like, I was just so like nervous and like overthinking it. And like when I would go to these events and dress different, I literally like stuck out like a sore thumb, you know? As soon as people would be like, oh, like, cause we had to like, you know, like, oh, talk and like get to know each other and stuff like that. And then when they would see like my page, they would be like, what? Girl, follow me right now. Like the attitude would change. And I you not, I'm not even joking. Like it was just like, it's like an instant thing. It's like they can't help themselves. They can't catch themselves quick enough, where it's just like, ew, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, what? It sucks because it's just like, oh, I already got that impression of you now. And it's just like, ugh. So her voice was like, what? Girl, why didn't you tell me like you had, you know, this amount? And I was like, cause what does it have to do with the conversation? And she starts laughing. Oh my God, what? So she starts going through like my followers, and there's a few content creators who follow me. And she's like, what? Like, you know, I was like, yeah, I know them, like really nice people talking. Like her whole attitude was just, wow, like that's so crazy. Like what? She's like, girl, what? Like, and that just spoke you for me. Like, okay, now the conversation is probably gonna be different. Oh, okay. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. Like that's how some people are. They're like, it literally changes how people see you. Like, oh, cause like I said, I don't fit the certain thing, and people are like, what is she doing here? Are you new here? You know, that type of vibe. And it's like, like I wish I can go back and like do things differently. And then también it's like, Alexis, you still dress like a what's up, girl? You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's just, I don't know, I'm just comfortable like that, y'all. I'm just like, you know. But one day I wake up with the wild hair up my culo, and you guys see me dressing, showing, you know, a little bit more, let me, okay? Because it's like, dang, finally, because I do want to get there. I want to be girly so bad, but I feel like, I don't know, like it would feel like, oh, that's not you. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like it trips me out how girly baby Jade is sometimes, because I'm like, who did you get that from? Because I am not girly. Like, who did you get that from, ma'am? Dime ahorita, because what? And it's just so cool to see it, you know. Angelica también will have her moments where she's like, oh. And I'm just like, that is so freaking cool to like be in that feminine, like, oh, you know what I mean? And you would think like I was raised, yeah, I was. I never knew my father. But anyways, so she just starts talking. She's like, has like a whole little like different attitude, and we start talking a little bit more. I guess she sends my picture to her sibling, and she's like, oh, my sister watches you. Oh, so we start like talking like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Like that's me. And she's like, oh my God, like my cousin went to school with you. And I was like, oh, what? That's crazy. What's her name? She says her name. I don't know who it is. I put it on God. Put my hand on the Bible. Don't know who that is. So she kind of gets a little like offended. Like, oh, you don't know her? You're too cool. Like, what? Bobby's now back at this time. Bobby's like, oh, what did I miss? We kind of catch her up. And then she even says, oh, you know, that her cousin knows her. She's like, no, she don't. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you. Because y'all, I still need to tell you guys that like stalker story when the person was like, no, I know you. And there's a difference of I know you and I know of you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like chills down my butthole, scared. Okay. And she's like, what? She don't know her? Yeah, she does. I'm telling you, I know Bobby from back in the day. So pretty much who Bobby knows is a little bit of who like, oh yeah, we know. Like our groups running. She would know. That's her cousin. She would know. So she starts getting like, she gets quiet. I don't know why this girl got so offended. Like, what? Just because I don't know her? Like, it was so weird. It gave me vibes of a child when they don't get their way and they literally don't know how to regulate their emotion. So they like kind of pout for a little bit, and you gotta wait till like the simmering goes down. You know what I mean? We're just still sitting there. We're done eating, still like talking. Bobby asks like, oh, you got time to like run to TJ with us real quick, or like you gotta go? And I'm like, no, like I can go, because I'm like, oh, I do want to look, and I do want to spend time with Bobby. Like I love spending time with Bobby. Like, yeah, that's cool, like I can go. Ain't nothing but a gangsta party. So we're getting up ready to leave, and we have the check, so we're gonna go walk and pay it in the front. I leave a tip that she's gonna grab it. I'm like, she's like, just kidding. Leaves it right there. Bobby pushes her to the front so that she don't play and do that again. Glass, and she's like, oh my God, who knew influencers are so uptight? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's, oh, okay. She asks like, oh, you want to go in one car? You want to go in a separate car? Why did I hate when this happens. I hate it. Like my husband tells me to, like, babe, it's okay if you need a moment to like think and like process things. You don't have to be like, yes, you know, deal or no deal. That like it's okay to take my time. But I feel like anxiety is like no, pick right now, and it's like no one's doing that, but in my brain I'm like like freaking out. So I'm like, oh yeah, we'll take your car. I kind of just like walk a little bit slow because I'm like, okay, I'll let her go first so that she can go in the front, because she rode with her, and then I'm gonna go to the back. But like I'm walking a little bit slow, and she's kind of just like dragging her feet, and she's just like on her phone texting. I get in the back seat. Before she gets in, she takes a little bit of time, and Bobby's like, dude, like, I'm sorry, like, I don't know what the heck, like, I don't know, she's a lot, but she's cool people. She's cool people. And I'm like, because I'm not gonna sit here and like talk about your fam, okay? I'm like, I'll do that later. I'll do that with my fam. Anyways, she gets in the car, we're driving there, and she's like, so who's Joe? I hear her, but I ignore her. I'm not gonna sit here and do that. Like, what? Like, what? So she starts listing off names. So she's talking to her cousin, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, Marco Polo. But like, I'm not gonna sit here and himmy, huh? What? You know, so I just stay quiet, and I'm just like on my phone. I look up and I see Bobby in the review, and she's like, you know, just going like that. So she turns around and she's like, you know, like a little bit like in a better mood. Like I'm telling you, she probably had to like self-regulate her emotions. And she asks us again, and I'm like, why? And she's like, oh, because like I'm trying to see like if it could jog your memory of. I was like, I already told you, like, I don't know her. And she's like, damn, chill. Bobby's like, she's chill because I am chill. Like, what? I'm just trying to chill. And so she's like, okay, Mr. Cool Guy, okay. Bobby tells her, she's like, yo, chill, like that's just so weird. Like, who wants to talk about work outside of work? She says, well, why can't I ask her some questions? And she's like, just kidding, just jokes. Like, why aren't you in your own car? This is what you get. This is what you get. You want to sit there and be like, yeah, because you don't know how to talk. You don't know how to be like, no, I'll take my own car. And the moments I do, you guys, and I do like actually take a moment to actually like process things, and I'm like, oh, I'll take my own car. You don't know how proud I am of myself. Where I'm just like, oh my God, hallelujah, hallelujah. You know, God even shows me a little rainbow, or just like, yeah, you did that, girl, you did that. Because I don't know what the heck goes on in my head. Park, we get out. Nar is still on her phone, and she says like, oh, I'll catch up. Okay, cool. So it's just me and Bobby. Me and Bobby are talking. She's like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe because so-and-so, we'll just call, I don't know. Maybe so-and-so is like, yeah, I do know her. Whatever. Like, maybe we kicked it once in a blue moon. Once in that blue moon, I don't know, maybe we were like in the same kickback. And she's like, yeah, like I don't know, but it's not someone where it's just like, oh, like if anything, like maybe it'd be an acquaintance, but I don't know, it irked Nar really bad. So me and her talking, and I'm like, dude, it's fine, like it's cool. And I was like, I shouldn't have even told her like, follow me back on Instagram. Like, that's your fault, you dumbass. Like, you should have just left it at that. You didn't even have to follow her back. Like, it's fine. I was like, no, it's cool. Like, it's cool. Like, I'm pretty sure she's gonna be unfollowing me too. She's like, and then I'm gonna have to hear about it. And I started like laughing. I was like, oh, because like the app and stuff like that. She's like, yeah. So we're like laughing. She's like, I got that too. And I was like, nah, dude, like I would be hurting my feelings and be messaging people like, can you please resubscribe, like please, you know. And so like we're just like having good conversation, just like chopping it up, whatever. Like, yeah, like I've been picking my scalp so bad, like I'm bleeding, like, oh. So we literally do a few laps around the store, and we finally see Nar, and she's like, I've been looking for you guys over here like dodging me, like what, like I was we were like, what? Like, we literally right here. She's like, no, I was going like up and down and all that. I was like, oh, maybe you can't see us because like we're kind of short, because she's a little bit taller. And she's like, I would be able to see you because you guys are shorter. I was like, oh, I don't know why that made sense in my head. And like me and Bobby start laughing, and she's like, what, like you just like don't want to hang out? And we're like, what? Like, no. I could see how someone could feel like that, or like they feel like they're third wheeling. Totally get it. Like, I understand it, like, you know. So we like tell her like, well, like it's not even like that deep. Like, no, like that's not even it. We're looking in the workout area. We're just like talking, and I'm like talking about like, yeah, like the 10K steps a day and stuff like that. Like, dude, like I need to start like doing weights. I know if I start doing weights, like I'll drop the weight, like my husband's always telling me. And we're just like conversing and stuff like that. Nar is like, how hard is it to just like not eat, like to stop eating, to stop overeating? I was like, I don't know, dude, like it's pretty hard for me. Like I always like be wanting to binge. Like I have such like a unhealthy relationship with food, like I really do. And she's like, couldn't be me. I was like, well, obviously. And me and Bobby like start laughing because they're just like, obviously, like she looks amazing. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying people who look amazing don't have health problems or don't binge or don't overeat. Like, I'm not saying that. I was just like, you know, you look good. And she was like, yeah, like I would never let myself go, like never. And I'm like, good for you, hun. Like, good for you. I never thought either. Like, damn, Jade, you're gonna have 4 bowls of cereal? What are you doing? But it happens. She's like, so like when did you get fat? Like after, you know, like your 6th one? I was like, yeah, like it just like hit me all at once. Like I literally like couldn't stop. She starts laughing. She's like, well, like that don't even make sense. I was like, yeah, you just, I don't know, it just happens. Like my metabolism slowed down even more. Don't have a gallbladder. And like I'm just having like a genuine conversation. Bobby taps me on my shoulder. She's like, dude, she's being a bitch. I didn't pick up on that. Sometimes I don't read cues like the best, but I was like literally explaining to her. She's like, I didn't know thicker people could have an eating disorder. And like just looking at me up and down, and I'm like, literally anybody can have an eating disorder. But I never really like thought about it like that. Like my therapist had brought that up, but like I just feel like I don't know, I feel like I couldn't use that word. I don't know why. And she's like, what? So we kind of get to a little bit, like it was so hard because like she was coming on strong and then sometimes like she would be like mellowed out. It was just like so confusing. I just knew like I'm never gonna see Nar again, so like I'm just gonna like continue to like, you know, baby my friend, whatever, and then once it's done, you know. But yeah, so then she's like, oh, have you ever thought about going to a calorie deficit? I was like, yeah, like I have. And that's when I went from like 190 to 169. Loved it. Went to Texas, boom, gained all that weight back, baby. And you know, we just like kind of like were like chuckling, laughing, and I was like, oh, like those tacos in Texas like was no joke. I was like, but for real, like they had like I drive through for like tamales. The tacos were like right around the block from my mom. Like it was crazy. Me and Bobby weigh about the same. And ooh, my hair looks nice. And then she's like, but you can't just like tell yourself like stop eating. And I was like, yeah, sometimes. But then like there's sometimes where like I will literally just like be home and it's literally like I'm just like eating. Like I don't feel full until like I've already gone too far. Gone too far, my lord. Too far. And I'm like, oh my God. And it hurts. You know what I mean? So she's like, so you don't even taste it? Y'all, I laughed so hard. I was like, nah, bitch, I inhaled that. Me and Bobby are laughing and she's like, then how come like you didn't finish the soup if you have like this binge eating problem? I was like, what are you talking about? I did. Bobby's like, yeah, she did. I was like what? Like y'all, it was such a weird conversation. So then Bobby was like, all right, let's change the conversation. Let's change the conversation. So the conversation changes. We're looking at leggings. Bobby, like, yeah, like these ones, this, that. I feel like as I've been walking more, I'm losing more of my thighs. I'm losing my thighs because I'm not weightlifting or anything like that. Now when I would do the kettlebell, you guys remember, I feel like they were looking nice, booty was looking nice. And so she was like, so like stop walking. I was like, yeah, like I think I gotta do walking some days, like every other day, walking weights, or like incorporate the weights. And like I gotta find a good plan. So I was like telling her like, yeah, I've been following like all these people and like I save their videos and stuff, but I never use them, or screenshot this, but I never use them. And like talking. Nar was like, so you guys probably just like really don't want it then. And I was like, I do want it. I'm just stubborn. She's like, so you don't want it? I was like, yeah, I guess. If you like, yeah, you know, like if you really, really want to change, then you would do it, you know? And then she's like, oh, are you gonna be one of those people that get on semaglutide? First of all, don't care if people take that route. Bobby is like, bitch, you know I'm on that. Like, what are you talking about? To Nar. Nar changes her tune quick because I think she knows Bobby got them hands. And she's like, oh, I'm just kidding. Like, I'm stupid. And like, it's quiet. Okay, we're walking a little bit more, like looking around. So now we're gonna move over to the makeup section. We're going over to the makeup section. We're having a little bit more conversation. It's just like conversations of like, oh, what do you like this? You know, just like little chitter chatter here and there, like talking, laughing. I'm telling you, it's just like, it's like this, you know? So you go to the makeup. Nar is like, why do you still buy makeup if you get makeup? And I was like, cause I like makeup. Like I receive it and I purchase makeup. And she's like, that's stupid. I was like, okay. And I'm like still looking because I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna give her like any attention. Like this is so weird. So I'm like looking at the makeup. They have the new Fenty like velvet liquid lipsticks and I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. So I'm like looking at them. People have been posting the Pat McGrath's palette and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's even cooler. They have ColourPop stuff. They have the Beauty Creations SpongeBob palette. I was tempted to get it, but then I didn't. So then I'm like, you know, just in my own little world looking at it. Bobby's just like sitting, chilling. Nar is like, oh, you what? You too good for this makeup? To Bobby. And Bobby's like, nah, Alexis just hooks me up. And I look at her, I was like, I got you, girl. Like, it was no problem. Nar goes, oh, so you're gonna hook me up too? I just stayed quiet. Like, y'all, like, I don't know how to explain it. I know some people are gonna be like, Alexis, stand up for yourself, Alexis. It's so hard, y'all. Like, I feel so uncomfortable, or just like, you know, like, I don't know how I'm over here touching shit because I'm already getting uncomfortable again. Like, fuck. And she's like, hey, you gonna hook me up? And I was like, I hook up my friends and stuff, friends and family and stuff. I was like, maybe when I get to know you a little bit more. She's like, don't you give makeup away to your FAMBAM? I was like, yeah. She's like, you don't know them? I was like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay. It gets really quiet. Y'all, it was just so hard. And I'm just like, I feel like anybody else would have been like, because I don't want to. Because I don't have to. It's down 10 toes down and you don't have to. You don't have to. But I feel like it's so bad. I'm just like, we're literally like just chilling. Like, we're just looking at stuff and I get a little couple things here and there, but now I just feel like she's just like watching me, or I'm just like, should I get this or not? Like, I just feel kind of awkward. Makes me feel uncomfortable. Now we go over to the purse section. Okay, we're in the purse section and Nar goes back on her phone and I just have that feeling of like she's going to try to bring it up again. Oh, do you know so-and-so, or like this person, right? Do you know Skillet? Now she knows damn well I know Skillet because Bobby knows Skillet. So I was like, yeah, so then you know. And I'm like, no, I don't. Bobby's like, she doesn't know her. She's like, but she knows Skillet. So what? She don't know her. She don't know her. I'm telling you, she don't know her. Like, she's just like, and she's like, yeah, she does. I'm like, okay, what does it matter? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, what? So then she tells me that she is in the Snapchat group I have. So in the Snapchat group chat, I have FAMBAM who helped me with changing the titles, changing the thumbnails. So sometimes like you'll see like the thumbnails change and stuff, or the titles and stuff like that, because sometimes I have to either remove or keep things to keep it ad friendly. So sometimes you guys would be like, what? Like, you know, or if you guys did notice, like I wouldn't bleep myself so much, but I have to. Or sometimes I will give nicknames for certain things, or sometimes I'll have to go and like remove something because it is no longer considered ad friendly. Sometimes even when I do that, it's still not ad friendly. And sometimes I'm like, do I just take down the whole video and try to like, you know, chop it up, because I record for like 2 to 3 hours and then I have to like put that down, because sometimes I tend to overshare, I name drop, too emotional, kids coming in and out, phone calls, you know, things like that. I'm like, oh, what's her name on Snapchat? So you know her. I was like, no, I didn't say that. I said, what's her name on Snapchat? So you know her. Bobby's like, yo, chill. So that doesn't mean she knows her. She doesn't know her like that. Like, she doesn't know her from like the past. Like, she knows her because of YouTube and stuff like that. And then she's like, okay, so she knows her. Y'all, I was just like, okay, so you need me her name? She's like, why, so you can block her? I was like, why would I block her? Like, I'm trying to like put it together. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it literally is like some of like my closest like FAMBAM and stuff. So like, why wouldn't I be like, oh, like it's Sarah, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like what? Like, who would have known? Like, that's crazy. And like put things together. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? So like, it was not even like any like weirdness. Like, what are you like threw me like I was just like okay, like this is so weird. So now I'm like, okay, like I wonder who this person is. Like, I'm not even like, it's just, I just want to know who it is. Like, am I wrong for wanting to know who it is? Like, I'm over here like, I feel like, what? Like, I just feel like and I don't know why she's so sassy with it, like super sassy. So we go check out. Again, just conversation of like, oh, what do you have planned for the summer? Oh, we want to do this. Like, oh, it's just like, you know, those kind of conversations. So sometimes like when you're paying, the group you're with will come with you, and then after you're done, like the next person, like me and my niece do this all the time. Like, she'll just walk with me after I'm done paying, then she'll pay hers, you know? So I go, Nar, Bobby, come with me, purchasing the stuff, waiting, ask if you're TJX reward. Yes. Nar wants to go, like, okay, bougie. Okay. So I take the card out. Bobby pays for hers things. Then Nar pays for hers things. And then she's like, oh, I don't have a TJ Maxx reward card. I'm not bougie like that. Puts it in. Okay. I don't even know what to do. And like me and Bobby just like laugh because they're like, okay. Like, it's just, all right, like I'm gonna leave. And like I hug Bobby and stuff like that, and Bobby kind of like giggles and she's like, okay girl, like where are you going? And I was like, I'm gonna head out now. Like, I told Baby like I'll catch up with them, and she's just like smiling at me, keeps smiling at me. And Nar is just looking at me like, I don't know why she's looking at me like that. You want to know why she's looking at me like that? Because I don't have my car. Yeah, that's why she's looking at me like that. So Bobby lets me go with it for a minute. Okay, she lets me walk all the way out. The door is open. I'm already texting my babe, and I'm like, oh my god, I got achievement for you. Like, oh, this is so weird, babe. Blah 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 blah. I'm walking out. First sliding doors open. I'm walking out. I'm still texting him. My heart's like, because I'm just like, I just feel so weird. Like, I just feel like that was just like, I don't know. Like, she's being so condescending. Like, it's just so awkward. Like, there's some mean girl shit. So I'm like walking out. Second sliding door. I'm looking this way, looking that way. Boom! It hits me in my face. Where I'm like, so then I turn around and Bobby's just sitting there and she's just freaking laughing. So is Nar. It was valid. We are started laughing super hard, where it was just like, it was funny. It was funny. It was funny because it's just like, I was so paranoid. I had like so much anxiety that I was just like, wasn't even thinking right. We get in the car. We still got like a ways to drive to my car, right? So then Bobby asked like, oh, do you want to get like a coffee or anything? I was like, oh yeah, like I saw me. Nar is like, oh, you think we can't afford to pay for our own because you got your little TJ Maxx rewards card? I was like, girl, it's not that deep. If you want, you could pay for yourself then. That's cool. She's like, okay, and will. Okay. So then me and Bobby get my drinks, and I ask her, I'm like, do you want to put it? She's like, I'm good. I'm like, okay. So then pay for me and Bobby's. So she pays for herself, and then they're like, all the remaining balance is like $1 and something. Nar looks at Bobby and then she's like, bitch, you got it. And then she's like, you should have just let Alex pay for it. And now you just look stupid and embarrassed. And they're like laughing. I don't even say nothing. I don't even chuckle at it because I'm like, I'm not even trying to make anyone feel stupid. We leave. She's pissed off that her drink wasn't made right. So we have to go to the front and she gets off. They let her keep her drink. She has two. She asks Bobby, like, how does yours taste? Bobby's like, mine tastes good. She's like, you know, you can get 2 drinks for the price of 1 if you just go to the front and you just complain. Bobby's like, you're so ghetto for that. Nar is like, well, not everyone here bougie and can afford just to get, like, dude, I don't know why she was so pressed about it. Like, I was just like, okay. Like, I don't, like, what? She asked Bobby if she knows like any makeup people. She knows any makeup artists that could do her makeup and stuff like that. Bobby's like, no, like everyone that I know like is like booked and stuff like that. So then she like looks at me and she's like, are you sure you can't do it? And I was like, no, like sorry, like I'm busy. And then she's like, or did I hurt your feelings? Or are you too sensitive? And I was like, no, I'm just busy. And I'm like still sipping on my drink. And then she's like, I hurt your feelings. Turns back around. I was like, okay. Because like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Like, it's so awkward. So we're still has ways to go. She turns back around like, quiere más? Quiere más? And then she's like, how are you a makeup artist and you're not even wearing makeup? And Bobby's like, oh, okay. She's naturally pretty. She don't need to wear makeup. So then she's like, oh, so people who wear makeup are ugly? She's like, I didn't say that. Like, stop twisting my words. She's like, yes, that's what you said. She's like, no, that's not what I said. She's like, yes, that's what you said. So then Bobby's like, I'm not even trying to do all this with you. Alexis, what you got planned for the rest of the day? And I was like, oh, I'm trying to go play pickleball with my hubby. Nar starts laughing like it's so funny. Like, that's an old people's game, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Because, like, I had down. I don't give a fuck. And she's like, okay, old lady, you're already a senora? And I was like, yeah, I pretty much am. Like, I'm really proud. Like, I feel like as I've, you know, cooked a little bit more here and there, doing little bit of things and stuff, I feel a little like, okay. Like, I'm trying to, like, still lighten the mood, like, play, you know, whatever. And then Bobby's like, when the hell did you get into pickleball? And I was like, girl, I don't know. I seen it at the dollar store. She's like, dollar store? Nah. You still shop at the dollar store? I said, yeah. She's like, I was like, what? Couldn't it be me? And then me and Bobby start laughing. So I tell Bobby and stuff like that, oh yeah, I've been playing pickleball. Literally went in there, you guys, and I seen the pickleball and I just felt it in my gut. I was like, I'm gonna like pickleball. I don't know why. Like, I'm just gonna like it. So then I get enough for, like, you know, me and my whole little FAMBAM. And then the guy behind me comes and takes the rest of them. And I was like, oh my God, thank goodness. Because now when I go and look, there's no more. Like, it, I guess everyone was on the same track. And then we've been playing pickleball and it's been fun. It's been like helping me like move around more, burn more calories, like ta. And like I get to play with the kids and stuff like that. And we're all like super competitive, you know? So I was just like telling Bobby and stuff like that. And she was like, oh, that's cool. What's the difference between like tennis and another word she used? I was like, oh dude, like I don't even know. Like, I'm just playing pickleball and it's fun. Nara is like, that's an old people sport. I was like, okay, like, she's like, okay, like looking at me, and I was like, oh God, you made my face hurt. Like, damn. So we're all like laughing. Nara's even laughing. It's just like, y'all, like it was a lot. Now I feel like, because I feel like at the beginning, I was just so annoyed. So annoyed. And like, it's not even that deep. It's really not. I just need to vent because I'm so annoyed. Like, I didn't understand it. So we finally pull up to the spot. We all get out of the car, which I don't know why. I was just me. So we get out, we're just like talking in the front and stuff like that. And then she gets a phone call and it's her cousin. And her cousin's like, oh, is you gonna do your makeup? Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, no, she wanna do my makeup. She said she don't wanna touch my face. And I was like, I didn't say that. Me and Bobby were talking. She gets off the phone and then she's like, I like don't understand, like it's only 2 hours. And I was like, okay, like I don't want to do it. Like, she's like, yeah, I know, because you don't want to touch my face. And I was like, that's not what I said. I said I didn't want to do it. I'm busy. She's like, so which one is it? Are you busy or you can't do it? I just don't want to do it. Yeah, you said you didn't want to touch my face. I was like, that's not what I said. I said I didn't want to do that. She's like, the same thing. I was like, no, it's not. Same thing would be if I'm right-handed and I slap you with my left, would it still hurt? That's the same thing. And then Bobby's laughing. I'm laughing because it's just like something stupid. So we're still laughing, BSing, literally just like sitting there just talking on the hood about like just random things, like, oh yeah, the clothing, oh yeah, this, oh yeah, the kids. So then the group chat gets brought up again, Snapchat. And I want to be dramatic and I'm gonna delete the whole thing, you know? So anyways, she asked about the Snapchat, that like, what was the group chat? And I was like, I don't know, you tell me. Cousin's in the group, you tell me. And she's like, why don't you just add me to it? And I was like, I do add FAMBAM to it, but you're not a FAMBAM. So like, why would I add just someone random who's not a FAMBAM. And she's like, what do you do in that group again? I was like, why don't you ask your cousin? And she just laughs. She's like, I'm just kidding. Bobby's like, dude, you're getting annoying. Like, you're really getting annoying. Like, what the like, you're getting annoying. Like, yeah, but you don't even know who's in there. And I started laughing. I was like, for real, dude. Like, I don't even know. But if your cousin has helped me on a title or like, you know, helped me keep it like ad friendly, like, I appreciate it. So we talk a little bit more. She walks off because she's gonna have a smoke, and me and Bobby were talking, and I was like, and you want me to do her makeup? Like, what is wrong with you? You want me to do her makeup? She's like, dude, I thought it was gonna be a better first impression. So I thought like if you got to meet her and stuff like that and she was gonna be cool, you'd be okay to do her makeup. And I was like, okay, that seems valid. Like, yeah, like if we got along, like, cool, I would have done it and stuff like that, like, no biggie. But like, yo, I was like, dude, like, I gotta go home and take a shower now. Like, I just feel like it's just like bad vibe. Like, what the fuck? She's like, I know she comes in hot, but like, she cool people. And I'm just like, well, you got no choice. She related. Just kidding. But, you know, she was just like apologizing and stuff like that. Like, she didn't know like why she was coming in so hot and stuff like that. That like, she just like has like a really strong person. And I get that, y'all. Like, I have come across a lot of people where it's like the personality is freaking heavy. I have certain family members where the personality is heavy, and once you know, break through that and stuff like that, and they see that like you can't like be punked on or something like that, then they chill out. But I'm not gonna sit, if I don't have to sit there and like, you know, himmity haw like that, then I'm not going to. Like, there's just no need for it. Like, I feel so much better now talking to you guys. Like, literally, I'm gonna like watch from the beginning. Carl was just like y'all, it took me a minute to record too, because I just felt like I was just like so annoyed. Or I was just like, damn, man. And like, she was like asking questions about like the ex and stuff like that, and I'm just like, Bobby had to tell her like, girl, I told you, like, no one wants to talk about like outside of work. And it's different, like if that's what we like plan to do and stuff like that, talk about like, you know what I mean. But it's like, why am I gonna sit here and like do that, you know what I mean, where it's just like, what, like, oh. And then Damien, I think I just feel like I feel very like, oh, just in general. So it's not even NARS feeling.
You're still in here?
Yeah.
Do you need anything?
No. Why is it so quiet? Yeah, for real. I've been in here a minute. This is probably gonna be a long ranting video where you guys can probably be like, no, she's me. Just venting, y'all. Maybe I should do this often instead of just like everything's just like this, just going through like some health stuff. So I was just like trying to get on the right track, y'all. Like, I really am. I have family visiting, and that's even more where I'm just like just nervous about that, which I'm happy, very blessed, you know, but I'm just like nervous. My sons got their last game coming up. Tell me why this whole time their games have not been at the same time. Tell me why the very last game is the same time. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to be running here, spend half here, spend half there, switch, you know what I mean, do all that. And the mom guilt is a son of a bitch, like, because they're like, just stay on mine the full time. Nope, stay on mine the full time. And it's like, I get that. And then once that sport's done, I have 4 that are gonna go boom 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 to another sport, which is cool. Super happy about it. But I'm just like, new schedule, new, you know, filling this out, doing that, and you know, and I don't know, it's just a lot. I think I'm a little bit more like because to be honest, like, you know, my health and stuff like that, just, you know, that, and just like my babies and everything, and there's a lot I don't share, and I wish like I could, but like I just get so much in my head, and it's like, damn, dude, you already share a lot. What you mean by oversharing? It's like, for real, huh? For real. But yeah, I didn't even wait to say bye and, you know, wait for Nar to finish up her cigarette and stuff like that. Yelled at Nar like, hey, nice meeting you, bye. Awkward as hell. And then just got in the car, replaying things back in my head like, oh, coulda, shoulda, woulda, should have done this, should have done that, should have done this, shouldn't have done that. At the end of the day, it's not that deep. I'm really happy that I turned on the camera because I feel like I got to like, you know, let me do it for you. Close your eyes. We haven't done this in the longest. Close your eyes. And then we just pick all the bad vibes, and we just start and get them out. Get rid of it. We're just throwing that away. We're not accepting any of the bad vibes. We're not accepting any of them. Just washing them away. Because I don't want you guys to have any of the bad vibes either. Me being like all upset about it. But thank you guys for hearing me out. I really needed that rant. I really needed to vent. So if you ever need to rant, leave it in the comments or get a diary. They sell these 98 cents. For those who might be curious, Bobby did say that like NAR apologizes for coming on too strong. She was having a crappy day. So maybe there's just something in the air. Something in the air. Crappy day, crappy vibe. She ended up finding someone to do her makeup. Cool. Gonna head out. Got some errands to run. I'll see you guys very soon. I'll see you guys in my next story time. I love you guys so much. Besos. Thank you so much for being here for me. I really appreciate you guys so much. It means the world to me that I have you guys. Honestly, 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 honestly. I love you. Besitos. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. You know why I think I was so triggered? NAR reminded me of young Sam. That's what it was. That's what it was. Bye. Let's begin. Chica,